Hey everyone, what's going on? Just wanted to come at you with another Marvel Contest of Champions video. This one's going to be a little quick tutorial guide. As it shows right there in the title, my goal is to show a little bit different strategy for the featured in Tier 4 Basic Arena. I personally don't like to sandbag. What that means is, if you don't know, is throwing in two decently strong champions like a high 440 or something like that, 4-star, and then throwing in the lowest you possibly have. So in Tier 4 Basic Arena, you can throw in that 1-star, that 2-star, just to kind of give you that buffer between your champs. Hopefully you can get some enemies that are lower, and when you do that, you can just try to pick and choose the best two fights for you. The reason I don't like doing that is, one, you can't really in the featured arena. With 4-stars, not a lot of people hold on to a level 1 rank 1, which is one of the only ways to do that in the featured arena, because you're dealing with just 4 and 5 stars. So there's that thought process, but also in the Tier 4 Basic Arena, what you can run into is you can pick that sandbag and you can kind of get screwed over with who you're going against. You can still have to fight some tough fights. Yeah, you kind of have to grind through them at times, but that's just one of those things that I'd prefer not to risk. Most of us that are doing this can fight through them, and the points are good. But at the same time, this is kind of coming at some of those kind of that middle tier player that just wants to be as efficient as possible. As you get more and more higher ranked champs, this becomes easier and easier, which is kind of the whole point of running the featured arena and the basic arena. Really, is just to get those basic rewards that you can get to continue to level up your roster. So start with this really quick. First and foremost, the really easy part is the first 5 rounds. You're going to be using anything. You can use 330 4-stars. Depending on how many you have, you can go ahead and jump into your 440s. Again, I try to be as efficient as possible, so I like to use my 440s or 330s just to get as many points as I can in those first 5 rounds. The ultimate goal is to spend as little amount of time in arena as possible. So that's what I do there. And round 6 through 9, what I do here is I use my 5-stars in the basic and featured arena. So I start out with my 5-stars, use my 125s if I have any, then my 235s after that, just to get as many points as possible at that 3 times multiplication. I don't use my 345s immediately, because I save those for future rounds, and I'll kind of go into that in a second. But when you're if you don't have any 5-stars, or if you don't have any 5-stars left, if you did like 1 round or 2 rounds of 5-stars, whatever you guys have, go ahead and pop out your 440s to finish out round 9. I recommend starting at the lower end of your 440s and working your way up again. That way your attacks aren't as hard, and you're going to need some of those higher ranked 440s in just a minute for this strategy. So round 10 through 15, if I can get this thing working, I'm just going to leave that at 5 through 9. It's 6 through 9. Around 10 through 15, I recommend using 1 550 if you have it, 4-star, and 2 440s. So basically, you need the PI, the total PI of these 3 champs, to add up to over 15,000 points. This way, you avoid the death squads. You will get those tough teams from Kang and Thanos. They will be like sometimes 455s, 5-stars, and sometimes the 565s. But in most of those cases, they're either unduped, or in all the cases, they have no masteries. So you're not going to get parried. You're not going to have other things like that you have to just think about or worry about, which is pretty helpful. So yeah, they are quote-unquote higher-end PI champions they're going to be fighting, but they're not your typical death squads where you get thrown at 3 455 Mystic champs against somebody who's got Mystic Dispersion ranked 5 out of 5, and you're going to have a lot of trouble fighting through those. So if you're over that 15,000 point threshold, the death squads don't pop up, and usually you can accomplish that with 1 550 and 2 440s. So that's why I said save kind of your higher 440s if possible, and that's where you're going to want to use them, is have those numbers there. You can substitute out a 345 for a 550, since their PIs are going to be relatively equivalent and high enough, but again, just make sure you're at that 15,000 point threshold or above to get the Kang and Thanos teams, to make it a little bit easier for you guys. So jumping after that, round 16 through 18, I recommend at least using a 440 4-star. The reason I say this is because occasionally when you use a 3-star, if it's a lower PI 3-star, a lower PI 330 4-star, you can run into those death squads still. It's not as often, but it can happen. I've been hit on round 18 more than once with throwing in some 330s there, and that's just one of those things that you obviously want to avoid at this point because you kind of made it through the tough rounds, and then the round 16 through 18, you don't want to kind of blow the streak that you've got going there. So my suggestion is just use those 440s again and go from there. Once you pass through round 18, though, you're good. So 19 on, you can use what you want. Don't drop below a 443 star. If you're doing the tier 4 basic arena, you can use 3 stars. Don't drop below those 443 stars. My personal opinion is don't even touch your 3 stars if you don't have to, because again, like I said, I'm about getting in and out of this arena as fast as possible just to make your time efficient. That way, using the things that generate you the most points, basically, is what I'm wanting to do. So a few quick tips. I started doing this whenever I had 3 550s and 1 345. So I did it before that. You do run into some death squads, but you're only running into 1 or 2. And I would just choose to fight through that because, again, I just hate the sandbagging feature because you lose out on some points, you're losing a fight, and it just makes it take a little bit longer to get through everything. So instead of spend less hours in the arena, I hit it in short amounts, so I do a little bit here and there. So when I had the 3 550s and the 1 345, one way that I did that was I'd hit round 10 through 13, and I'd use my 550s, 1 550 and the 2 440s, and then my 1 345 and 2 440s to get through 10, 11, 12, and 13. Then I would just wait the hour and 45 minutes or hour and a half or whatever it ends up being after you get the help request. So basically, let's just call it 2 hours. So after the 2-hour break, I would come back in and pop those last 2 rounds with the 550s. That way, I'm now through round 15, and so I can hit that 16 and 18 at my 440s. So I would basically hit arena in 2 stints. And really, you can do this as much as you like with the 550s. If you're wanting to just really spend very little time in there, at round 10 or even lower, you can start using the 1 550 and the 2 440s just to kind of progress through those and get as many points. If you just have 1 round here or there, obviously use your highest point gainers just to get done with that threshold as fast as possible. So that's one of the things I highly recommend. This is the way I do it. And it's been working pretty consistently for me. I know that there can be some things you run into where, like I said, you're going to fight those high-end Kang and Thanos teams, and that can be rough, but it's going to be a lot easier than fighting some of those death squads that you have. So Tier 4 Basic, obviously the goal of Tier 4 Basic is to get the Tier 4 Basic at 1.1 million. So obviously push till you get there. Nowadays I can get that done in about 22 rounds. I just hit it with my 550s and high-end 440s and then my 5 stars. I like to just get in and get that done, and I'll do it over the whole 2-day period. I won't just blitz it at one time. So whether it's a lunch break here or whatever, just a little downtime, 10 minutes, I just use my highest end champs to get in and get the maximum amount of points. So really what I shoot for personally, I shoot for a featured goal in the arena of 2.2 million. I think this is the most efficient way to do that. A lot of times I'll just go to 2.5 to get that next marker. Now that I have some more 5 stars, it's a little bit quicker. But that nets you the little bit better shards. You're getting those 5-star shards. And I think that it can be done pretty quick if you're just using 5 stars. So basically, once I hit through round 18 and I get on to 19, I just use 5 stars in the featured arena to get as many points as I can. I focus my 4 stars on the basic until that is done, and then if I need the 4 stars to finish out the featured arena, I throw them on over there. But my basic arena goal is 1.7 million. I think that's about the most efficient rewards. You can usually gamble and go lower. It's been fluctuating a little bit with some of the champs that have come out, so I just usually go for 1.7 to be safe. So hitting that basic goal of 1.7, then I throw my 550s and 440s 4 stars over into the feature arena as well, just to kind of cap out those points. So really, all in all, when I'm looking at a featured and basic combination, to hit those thresholds, I'm somewhere between about 110 or so and 120 total rounds of arena. And this is one of those things that can be done pretty quick. So if you're doing a round of arena every 2 minutes and it takes you 100 rounds and you can do one every 2 minutes, 200 minutes of time, so about 3 hours and some change to get it done. So really it's an hour a day. If you play over a lunch break at work or before bed or just things like that, you can spend 15 minutes or 20 minutes here or there and really cap out to be the most efficient as you can in those arenas to get the best rewards. And really what that does is it'll make arena that much faster down the road for you as you get more and more champs into your roster. So using this strategy, I've really been able to increase my 5-star farming without spending an exorbitant amount of time back in the game, to where I can still go, obviously have a life, and I'm not putting out the 7, 8, 9, 10, 18 million points in the arena, because I'll just wait for those champs down the road personally. If you want to go for them, obviously go for them. But yeah, that's just kind of quick. I just wanted to, like I said, I just want to quickly go over that. If you have questions about, if you need to sandbag, or if you have questions about how you can hit the arena, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll try to get back to you as quick as I can. I'd love to help out any way I can. I've been doing arena for a long time, just trying to maximize the best output I can, and this is kind of where I found the most efficiency to be done. Like I said, I finished the Tier 4 basic arena this week in 22 fights, so it can get done pretty quick, and that's the whole reason, is I can spend more time doing other things, whether it's questing the game or just, hey, going out and living life, and that way I don't have to drop all that time in the arena. And that's kind of the goal. Spend a little bit of time now, get it set up, figure out how to do that grind initially, so that you can spend less and less time every single week and still get the same amount of rewards, if not better. So anyways, hey, definitely appreciate you guys checking out this video. Feel free to like and subscribe. I'll be coming out with some more content. I'm excited for this boss challenge that's coming up. The 6-star boss challenge. I will be recording that and knocking that out in the first day or so, going in there trying to decide on what champs I'm going to be using. I'm thinking about what would be the best options for everybody, and really during the video we can kind of spitball some ideas on what would be best for you to use, and how you can conquer that, because I think it's going to be very doable for a lot of players. It's going to be very difficult, but I think that there are some champions that you can throw in there that are going to work for you in the long run to really work through that, get the bonus for 4-star at the end, and some extra signature stones for your 5-stars and 4-stars. So anyway, I definitely appreciate you checking this out, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.